Hello everyone, welcome to Prime Business. I am Pius Kojubaka. Economist Dr. Edu Osisa-Akodia is urging government to maintain its fiscal discipline as it prepares to present the 2026 budget with a specific focus improving the agriculture sector. He emphasized that the agriculture sector has immense potential for growth and job creation and that targeted investments in this area could yield significant returns. Speaking to Joy Business, Dr. Sarkodie highlighted the need for government to strengthen fiscal discipline, citing the importance of transparent and structured fiscal management.
First of all, is the fiscal. I think so far, I am not too old, but I've lived long enough in the Fourth Republic to see how the fiscals have usually disturbed the other variables. So if we continue to be disciplined, we know we are in the IMF program, and next year by May they'll be exiting. And so if they exit the remaining years in 2026, what are we going to do to ourselves as a country? We should continue with this fiscal discipline, keep the target. For me, I would propose that, we continue to keep the targets set by the IMF, the target that we've set for ourselves from 2023 through the IMF program. Even if the program ends, we should not change the target. We should continue with the fiscal target, the primary balance target, the fiscal deficit target, the GDP growth rate target, monetary growth target, all the targets that we are set by IMF within the IMF program, ECF program. We must continue with it. We should focus on agriculture. If nothing at all, we shouldn't be suffering from hunger. We should have enough food. We should be food self-sufficient. So we should focus on agriculture. And because, when you are talking about inflation, we have food inflation and non-food inflation. Probably the non-food inflation like energy bills, utility bills, you may not have too much control over them. But as for food, we have enough arable land. We should be able to be sufficient. Right. We should be able to produce to feed ourselves and keep food inflation very low.
Still on the 2026 budget, KPMG budget survey respondents' expectations for the 2026 national budget have revealed a strong call for policy continuity, targeted fiscal reliefs, and an enabling environment to sustain economic recovery and foster inclusive growth. The most prominent call from respondents is for expanded access to low-cost finance through grants, soft loans, and credit guarantee schemes. More in this report.
2026 budget priorities question, 58 respondents called for grant, affordable loans, and working capital support to help firms expand production and sustain operations. Similarly, a significant number of respondents highlighted access to low-interest credit as the most critical enabler of the government 24-hour economy program. Over 85% of respondents said that a grant or matching fund scheme for SMEs will significantly or moderately improve their ability to invest in equipment and technology. Findings from the 2025 Budget Perception Survey suggest that Ghana's macroeconomic stabilization drive has been broadly successful and has been recognized as such by the private sector. However, the business climate remains fragile and business are yet to realize the full impact of government flagship initiatives. The KPMG 2026 pre-budget survey was undertaken to capture the perspective of businesses across key sectors of the Ghanaian economy on the impact of current fiscal and economic policy. The objective is to provide evidence-based insight to inform government policy direction for the 2026 national budget and subsequent budget cycles.
Meanwhile, Part 9, Head of Advisory at KPMG, Kwame Sapom Benes, is urging government to use the 2026 budget to consolidate most of the economic gains recorded.
It's very clear. I mean, the fundamentals are clear that we are on the right trajectory, right? And again, fiscal consolidation has been something that we've heard government speak about. That needs to continue. And in my first point, as I made that, we have to move from this initial stability to transformation. How do we make this a permanent stake where Ghana can be a country that we know that inflation is always in the single digit? How can Ghana be a country that we know that the interest rate is at the rate that businesses can really take funds, invest, make money, and thrive? So for us, value for money becomes one thing. I mean, whatever amount of CD spent, we must know that it's giving us value. We need to also prioritize our investment processes, because, for instance, the big push, as I said earlier, is creating a foundation for industrial revolution and development. We need to focus on that. Initially, it's going to cost us, but in the medium to long term, we will reap the benefits of it. So I think that level of focus is extremely important as a country. Consistency is always the key to transformation.
Away from the 2026 budget, the Ride-Hailing Safety Index report found that 81% of riders consider ride-hailing safer than other transport options, a reflection of growing trust in digital mobility services. Speaking at the launch of the report, Bold Africa's regional PR manager said the findings will help shape future company policies focused on improving user experience and promoting safer mobility across all its markets.
Research conducted by Ipsos in partnership with Bolt surveyed riders in Accra, Kumasi, Tamale and Takrady. The results show that 81% of passengers view ride-hailing as a safer option, particularly for late-night trips and when they feel unsafe walking or using public transport. According to the study, women make up to 70% of ride-hailing users, with most aged between 25 and 34.
We did commission Ipsos to run a survey in the Ghana market for us to just understand what are the key drivers and levers that motivate passengers to use different types of transport modes. It was really overwhelming in a very positive way to see from the survey conducted by Ipsos that an overwhelming 81% of Ghanaians actually stated that they prefer to use ride-hailing apps compared to other transport modes when it comes to safety, which for us is a big testament in the efforts we are putting to making sure that hailing platforms are safe, they are reliable and everything. I think we also noted just from the survey conducted that again convenience tops at one of the things and one of the core drivers for passengers in Ghana when choosing different transport modes, meaning that there's a bigger problem we are solving when it comes to convenience, when it comes to reliability. Again, when you look at the data, if you delve further in, you will see that again 52% of Ghanaians say that and state that ride-hailing platforms have really helped in curbing drunk driving.
The report highlights that key in-app safety tools such as real-time GPS tracking, driver verification, and trip sharing help 94% of passengers feel more secure during trips. The Ride-Hailing Safety Index report provides a data-driven basis for improving transport safety and shaping policy discussions around safer mobility in the country.
The Ghana Employers Association, in partnership with the Norwegian enterprise, has launched the Girls and Technology Program to boost female participation in STEM and empower young women with skills for the future. More in this report.
The Ghana Employers Association, in partnership with the Norwegian enterprise, has launched a new initiative dubbed Girls and Tech. This is aimed at empowering young women to pursue impactful careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics while providing mentorship and career guidance. Speaking at the launch, Director of Resource Development and Membership Services at GEA, Yvonne Asari-Yeboah, highlighted the persistent low participation of girls in STEM education across the country. She explained that this long-standing gap inspired the creation of a targeted program that offers mentorship, exposure, and practical opportunities for girls to explore STEM pathways.
The main objective of this program is to encourage young girls in JHS and senior high schools to pursue STEM careers. I think over the years, statistics show that there's a gap when it comes to STEM, especially regarding girls, young females. So we thought that it is very necessary to embark on this project and then help these young girls so that they can pursue the STEM courses. And we are doing this through mentorship, innovation, and also career exposure, exposing them practical exposure, so sending them to the industry. So we are working together with some of our member organizations to help these young girls in this regard.
According to her, the initiative is designed to expand annually with a goal of reaching more schools across the country, ensuring that a wider pool of young women gain access to STEM education and career prospects.
This is a program that has come to stay. So for now, we are working with 7 schools for now, yes. So we'll continue. Every year, we will choose or select more schools and then follow up with them. But for now, we are working with Achimota School. We are working with Accra Girls, West African Secondary School, Waleshi Basic, and then University of Ghana Staff Village School, yes, among others.
Project manager for Girls in Tech in Norway, Vibeke Sarem, expressed optimism about the program's potential to transform opportunities for girls in Ghana's technology ecosystem.
I'm hoping that more girls will see themselves in STEM and careers within STEM and see that they can also pursue that career. Having role models to look up to is important. I never had any as a mechanical engineer myself. I've always found my own path. I really wish this was an offer that I could have when I was a young girl, and I'm so happy for them to have people to look up to and that can kind of be part of guiding their way. I'm hoping it will give more young girls the opportunity to build more self-esteem and empower them to know that they also belong. We all belong here.
The launch marks a significant milestone towards creating a more inclusive, equitable, and diverse STEM environment in Ghana.
Let's now touch on some agric-related stories. Deputy Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Samson Ahi, has appealed to small and medium enterprises to respect the agreements upon which support for business growth and job creation is extended. After a working visit to Yadant Agro Group of companies in Sunyani, the minister assured entrepreneurs of the government's support, but urged them to divert funds but pay back to ensure others also benefit from the support.
The Deputy Minister of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Samson Ahi, visited Yadant Agro Group of companies in Sunyani in the Bono region as a follow-up to the recent agribusiness dialogue to ascertain how the government could partner with expansion plans and create jobs beyond its current 300. The Chief Executive of Yadant, Samuel Intim, took the minister and officials from Exim Bank and Newmont Ahafo Development Foundation round the factory where cereals are processed for human consumption, the brewery and the poultry industry. He explained the expansion vision.
We want to create the poultry broiler enclave in the Ahafo region, and that is what has triggered this visit. We are very hopeful that working together, a year by now, hundreds of thousands of day-old chicks will be hatched from the facility and the breeder farm that we are trying to build and turn Ahafo into the broiler enclave, the same way Doma is the egg enclave, and see how that can be replicated into other regions as well.
The Deputy General Manager, Business Advisory at Ghana Exim Bank, Dr. Mavis Orekwasari, expressed the bank's desire to support the government's vision of job creation.
We are here as a development bank to help government's vision come to being, and we are very impressed that Yadant on its own have been able to establish such facilities, have been able to expand, and they need the support to be able to upscale. And so we are happy to be here, happy to support them.
The Deputy Minister, Samson Ahi, reminded entrepreneurs to take advantage of the support offered by partner institutions, including the Ghana Enterprise Agency, to grow businesses and create jobs. He, however, appealed to SMEs to respect support agreements.
Whenever you get a support, it doesn't belong to you alone. It is given to you so that you will run it and then pay it back so that somebody else can also take advantage of it. But if you listen to what the previous government did with regards to the disbursement of loans by Exim Bank, people took the facilities and just bought land cruisers, built houses, and that ended it. That is not good enough. If we do that, we are just cursing ourselves. And so I want to appeal to anybody, including Yadant, if you are lucky to get a support from the government, you have to, by all means, use it for the purpose for which you acquired that facility.
Precious Semevo Joy Business, Sunyani.
You're still watching Prime Business. We have more for you after this break. Hello, welcome back to Prime Business. The International Trade Center has partnered with the Ghana Cocoa Board to engage some cocoa farmers in parts of the country to improve their yields. The initiative is to ensure that Ghana meets international standards, as well as creating a ready market for farmers in the Volta region and other parts of the country. The following report has more.
It began with some selected farmers in the Anoe area in the whole West District of the Volta region, with officials from the Ghana Cocoa Board Seed Production Division. According to the team, the training has become necessary as many of the farmers were taken through some basic practices to minimize cost of production on their farms. Here's Dr. Dixon Akwamwa Boaten, a national representative for the coffee farmers.
The Seed Production Division establishes a nursery based on the number of seedlings that they would need for a community. So after distributing the seedlings, the coffee seedlings, the SPD will also come back and train them with the planting distances, the holes, mulching, and everything, so that the seedlings, the coffee seedlings, will do well.
As part of the initiative, some processors also took the opportunity to engage the farmers to enlighten them on the new growing trend for the industry. Chief Executive for Fortune Coffee, Dr. Salom Akosia Fortune, believes the provision of ready market is critical for the farmers.
Most of them, because once the coffee is ready, once they are ready to sell, it's the person who can buy or wherever they can get the market. So at the moment, the market is in Togo, and Togo, we know, is very close to them, and so most of the coffee is taken there, and that is why the linkage, the establishing the link between them and a local processor like us, it's a very good thing for them, because then we get to then buy some of them. We are also rebranding our Robusta to make it Anwe coffee, which means that we are placing the Anwe coffee on the map.
Technical officer at the Seed Production Division, Samuel Akosa, spoke to Joy Business on some of the training initiatives.
We taught the farmers how to, the time they should start weeding, chopping of the farm, at the same time doing learning and pegging, planting of shade trees, also mulching, pruning, and then also planting. So because of this ones, I know say the farmer will acquire knowledge about this, and maybe from 2 years thereabout, I know say Ghana is going to produce a lot of coffee.
The farmers also expressed appreciation for the program and hope to use the opportunity to increase yields.
Stakeholders in the agricultural sector say Ghana's growing food glut can be tackled by empowering the youth to lead in production and value addition. With over 100,000 metric tons of maize and rice from the 2024 harvest still unsold, farmers are frustrated by limited markets and post-harvest support. More in this report.
Talking about food gluts, yes, production, this is the peak of the season. But what we are looking at, if we are able to invest into processing, it will reduce post-harvest losses, and it will also get food available for people. So we are talking about food glut now because processing is limited, and the market is, in a way, the products that we are in are perishable as well. So investing into the value chains, for instance, if somebody is into processing of this food, for instance, rice, then we wouldn't be talking about gluts, because if you process the food, then you are able to preserve it right. And then you can roll it out when there are shortages. But currently, we don't have that. The processes are not many, and they are not even available to process all the quantities that have been produced for now.
Ghana's National Electronic Waste Collection Scheme has expanded to the Ashanti region, with authorities projecting significant economic benefits alongside its environmental impact. The initiative, led by the E-Waste Fund, is expected to open new income streams to scrap dealers, create recycling sector jobs, and increase revenue for local assemblies through formal registration and regulation. More in this report.
By establishing centralized collection centers, the program channels toxic electronic components to licensed recyclers, creating a business pipeline for companies specializing in safe recovery of metals and reusable parts. This approach reduces landfill dumping and prevents valuable materials from being lost in the informal economy. Monitoring and evaluation head at E-Waste Fund, Gerard Odujemfi, highlighted that formalized e-waste collection will allow local authorities to better track activities in the scrap industry and generate more funds.
So I'll start from the government side. So for the municipal assemblies, they are able to understand the work that the scrap dealers do in their municipality, so that they're able to know them and then to be able to regulate them. So for that is one benefit. And then also they'll be able to register them and then get some internal generated funds. For the scrap dealer, it enhances their work in the sense that things that they wouldn't have ordinarily picked from the environment, now they are picking them in addition to the metal scraps that they sell. So now they have enhanced revenue because now they are getting things that they wouldn't have otherwise getting any value for, and then would have ended up on the landfill side.
Deputy Fund Administrator Amos Bless Naimos noted that after successful pilots in the Greater Accra and Eastern regions, the commercial growth potential in Kumasi made expansion strategic.
So today the engagement we are having is also part of a larger project to roll out the collection of e-waste items across the country. But you can't do this without engaging the principal actors within that space, and they are the scrap dealers. So what we are doing today is to have a discussion with the scrap dealers, get them to understand that we've come of age and we've gone beyond the stage of where they collect items and burn them and pollute the environment. Because as part of government policy through the e-waste fund, we are to rid our cities from these e-waste items, but we need to do it in a more environmentally friendly manner.
As Ghana intensifies efforts to modernize scrap trade, policymakers believe the initiative positions the industry not just as an environmental necessity, but as a commercial growth opportunity capable of supporting jobs, entrepreneurship, and municipal revenue expansion. Ebenezer Yeboah is an environmental officer at the EPA.
We are cutting down the pollution of the environment, especially with regards to the smoke nuisance that we normally experience during the burning of the scraps. And so that is one of the scores that we are going to achieve. Two, we are looking at sustainability. How do we sustain the project that is coming to the municipality? So with education and awareness creation, we are assisting the scrap dealers just to understand the system and how to operate, how to do their work.
Stephanie from Pons reports for Joy News.
Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kojubaka. Do have a lovely weekend. Sports is next.